Hey everybody, whenever I work with a client who plans to buy with the intent to invest and grow their real estate portfolio beyond their first purchase, my advice is always buy small and or buy income generating property. Now, what does that look like? Well, it's going to be a little different for different people. For example, if you are someone who operates a business and has a living situation, that's two bills that you have. You have a household bill situation and you got a business bill situation. So for someone like that, I typically say, well, let's get a location where you can operate both and lower your out-of-pocket expenses for home and business. In other situations, if a person is willing to rent out space to others, then we look for a property that will allow for shared space and therefore income to be acquired through that property. If you're not a business owner of some type and you're not really willing to have shared space and renting out part of the property to someone else, then what we look for is a good starter home, not your dream home, not something that's perfect and flawless and everything else, this, that, and the other, but just something that's a good solid investment that you can later use to either provide equity toward a future purchase or something that's going to have some decent resale value for you in the future so that you can then move on to a bigger and more close to your dream home option. So that's my best advice for people who are starting out as first-time buyers who plan to go forward and grow their investment portfolio after the first purchase. Now, for some of you who already own a home and you're asking yourself, well, how can I do the same thing? Well, if you feel like your current mortgage is just it's excessive, maybe you don't really have any extra money to save every month, well, why not consider selling that property and getting you a lower cost property and then advancing and working your way up? Because the reason that I always suggest buying something that produces income or buying something that reduces your out-of-pocket expenses is to allow for more savings every month, because that's the surest way to grow toward your future. Now, another thing to keep in mind is for people out there who get tax refunds, a tax refund is a great way to invest in your financial future by applying that to a real estate purchase. So if you're interested in learning more about this and your mortgage options and where should you be shopping or any other real estate questions, drop me a comment. You can also send me a message and let's start that conversation so that whether or not you're ready to buy within the next 2 months, maybe you'll be ready to buy in the future. And getting that vision of where you're going is so important and just makes the process easier when that time comes. Talk to you guys soon.